So I left a bunch of videos online again today just to see. Maybe somebody would see it. Maybe the algorithm, would show somebody a video that I fucking left online. You wouldn't have to go there and, click on it. Not so much. Um, all of that complaining aside, not that this probably matters to anybody. Yeah. One of the ways I know that I'm getting, I don't know how close I'll ever get in my lifetime, but I've certainly ratcheted this down. Take these, for example. Imagine there were only 3 ingredients to reality, as it were. And the orientation doesn't really matter. I'm working on numerous subjects all at once, mind you. And the more and more I ratchet it down, I start to get certain values that have to do with this. And I start seeing them here. And some of these, it's taken me years to do this. And I've had to dance back. And this is why I've stressed, you need to take notes. If you're not doing that and you don't have a system behind you in terms of cataloging this shit and being able to access it, you're not going to figure it out. At least not the deeper shit. You might see some of the really neat stuff eventually, and start to glean what's what. But in terms of the mechanics of it, it does get convoluted. And that's one of the things that I struggle with because I shoot from the hip pretty fast and loose. That's just how I like what I do. I like my art sloppy. That's one way to put it. And yet when I was a child, I didn't want my food to touch. It's fucking funny. And when I was younger, again, as a child, I won the Mr. Neat and Tidy award for my desk being clean. And yet, I think I've mentioned before, when my sister used to come over to my house in Albuquerque, she would prefer to shit or piss in Walmart's bathroom. Not mine. Yeah. So I'm seeing the same values is the point between all of these. And that's just part of what I've been cataloging. And it's wild because I'll work on, and again, I'm just simplifying this in terms of 3 different crucial ingredients having to do with reality. But I'll be working on one of these aspects and then I'll ride the wave. And again, I'll start chasing another aspect of it based on the research. And then I'll start seeing those values pop up. And sometimes it confuses me because I think that I'm working on this. But then I realize, no, I'm just pulling the same values out of this because it fucking sings to itself. It's interconnected. And it's irrefutable. It's how this works. These are grassroots approaches. These are answers to reality. These are things you are not supposed to fucking know. And I'm sitting on these answers. On and off, more so lately, but I think it's because I was going through, and technically I still am. But it's in some ways better than it was. It's still confusing as fuck. All the health stuff. It really got in the way. It really tripped me up. Some of you know I've been putting together a system. I've written a really, really long book that I've broken up into other books because you can't carry around. Let's see if I can do this. Nah, it's a really big book otherwise. It just does not work. I got Mayday water right here, and it'd be bigger than that. It's fucking ridiculous. The one I plan to release if I ever get this sorted out, it's going to probably be 900 to 1,000 pages. It's going to be a big fucking book. Yeah, but that health stuff, it got in the way and it really tripped me up. And every time it was flowing, that's what really fucked with me. It's just wild. I've told you guys before, you'll experience technical difficulties. Things will get in the way. People you haven't seen in years will pop up and trip you up. It's really bizarre, but it's how reality works in an entirely different way that people have yet to understand for the most part. Because they're being spoon-fed a bunch of superficial fluff that is quite literally the opposite of how reality works. And that's what most people are talking about online. When you hear kids waxing poetic about synchronicity and dressed up in a bunch of other social engineering jargon type of ways, it's a laughable joke, really. Sometimes they hit close to the mark, sometimes. mind you. But most the broader group, or the larger groups of people, typically speaking, are singing our master's praise. They've drank the Kool-Aid, and they sure as hell think it tastes good, and they're not gonna die. What the fuck do I know?